We'll call the meeting to order at 7:32. We have a quorum that's been determined by who we see. We're holding this remotely in accordance with the governor's proclamation that allows us to meet remotely, and be advised that the meeting is being recorded, so what you say and share will live on forever and ever. Minutes. Do we have minutes?
Yeah, they're great.
Good, I loved them. Anybody want to move the minutes from our last meeting, which must have been,
A month ago?
10th of February.
you didn't meet
Oh,
the last time in February, right?
Right.
right.
I
So
would move to approve.
whatever those dates were, do we have a second?
Second.
Any additions or corrections?
Can't beat perfection.
All right.
You can't.
So we'll do a roll call. Carolyn,
Aye.
Jay,
I
Thomas,
Aye.
Tim, I. The minutes pass. We don't have any visitors tonight?
Not at the moment.
what was the conclusion with Laura? Thank you so much. That would be the 10th. Yes. Oh, she says she will log on.
Wilson Road?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
But
guess
other than that, no appointments, just two conversations, one about the update of the bylaw and one about inclusionary zoning, right?
Yeah.
One piece of business we need to settle is when we want to hold the public hearing for the warrant. 14th of April work for people?
I think so.
Which would mean we'd have to post it on the 27th of March and the 3rd of April.
Right. So I will not be here for that meeting.
Oh, that's life.
Yep. So either somebody else needs to open the meeting
Oh, God.
or you guys have to do it in person.
Jay likes
Maybe I
it.
could put, does Jay know how to do it? Because I could, I know Leanne pretty well from being a deacon with her. I could ask her to
There you go.
join us. I'm sure she would be willing to just join and open the meeting.
Yeah, I've also sent instructions in the past, detailed instructions to Tom Sanford,
Wow.
and he has
Okay.
done it
Oh,
in the
okay.
past. Yeah.
Well, we can
So,
check with him when he gets here. You have to remember you're sending instructions to four guys. We don't read instructions, but
I know.
never
I
mind.
know.
Against the law, isn't it? You can
Yeah.
be jailed. Yeah.
Well, I
had
don't
good-
know if he used the instructions to open the meeting.
We'll talk to him when he gets here, and I mean, we've got time, and
I don't want him to lose his man card or anything.
No, I've had
no,
good
you know
friends
what? Leanne will not be available that
Okay.
date. I know that already from Deacon stuff.
You can send it to me, Carolyn. I'm pretty good with computers.
And be
All
able to
right.
muddle through.
Well, we have one
Um,
meeting between now and then, so maybe the person who will open it on the 14th can open it at the next meeting, and we
Yeah.
have Carolyn as a backup if it doesn't work. How's that?
Yeah.
Right. And there, Tom Sanford just logged on. So,
Meeting on the 14th.
So we're going to have Tom
Saturday.
Sanford, we're going to have a hearing on the 14th of April. It's going to be in the paper the 27th of March and the 3rd of April, and I will send it to the newspaper so it's in their hands by the 23rd of March, so it'll be posted.
Okay. Hearing on
And-
14, 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Yep, sounds good.
yep. And so I will not be in attendance at that meeting. Going to lovely New Jersey. So
Oh, good
exciting.
God.
Who's your travel agent?
Yeah.
Hope it's not Chat TTP.
We have
Yeah, right.
We have a Jersey City office, and one of my standing jokes when a colleague says, "Oh, I'm going to Jersey City," and I say, "Work or vacation?"
Yeah. There's a line of anyone who's an audiophile has heard of KEF speakers, and they have a fancy showroom in Marlboro, New Jersey, actually. And so we're going down for 3 days, and they're gonna wine and dine us and do their dog and pony show, and so
What's the name of the company again?
KEF, KEF.
KEF.
Yeah.
Like the airport.
Oh, is there a KEF airport?
Keflavik, that's a nice
Yeah.
name.
Ah. Yes, they're amazing speakers, but
Very, very high end.
very high end, yes. And not even as high end as they get, but still very high end. Um,
Did anybody open the meeting?
Yeah, we did.
We
Yeah.
Okay.
we opened the meeting, we did the minutes, and we've set the hearing. Now it's your show.
Oh, it's my show. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I guess I better catch up then, huh?
When is our visitor scheduled to come in?
We didn't get that specific.
Hey,
I'm just checking to see if you said she was gonna come. I will log on. Is anybody logged on right now?
nope, just us.
Huh.
if you have her email, you may want to tell her sooner rather than later, because I'd hate to just be hanging out waiting.
Tell her she can log on at any time. Oh, I might not have sent her the link.
Well, it is on my town government.
Who's the visitor?
It's pretty hard to find, but you're right.
Who's our visitor?
What's that?
Who's the visitor?
Laura Rigo, and wants to talk about what it takes to get the road down by the school. What's the name of that road?
Wilson.
Wilson, accepted by the town.
Shouldn't she be talking to the selectmen? Or do we do that? Have I
Well,
forgotten that?
It's-
Yeah.
It's a 40B. And
Oh,
I believe there may be language in the approval by the ZBA that says that at no time will it be brought to the town for a vote to accept it as a public road.
is this Mark's?
No, yeah.
Well,
Mark's-
it's development, yeah, his development,
Yeah.
but not,
Beyond the school.
right, not Green Acres, which also, I believe, has the same provision.
I believe the ZBA puts that clause in the agreement. And I
So what
think
do they do,
I-
a homeowners association? How do they maintain that road? Once he-
homeowners
bye-bye.
association,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
like the others.
Yeah,
So 40B, you can put text in the agreement with them that says we will never accept their road.
It's,
that one ended up being a lip, didn't it?
no, I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Wilson?
Either.
That was
No.
contentious.
So
Okay.
is it illegal? Is it a legal way? Did he build it to the road standards?
Oh, there she is.
I think that's the research that would have to be done.
Okay. So is it the board's pleasure to elevate that person now or?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Laura, I'm gonna promote you so that you can join the conversation. So you have to accept to be a panelist. Oh, she keeps declining. Oh, all right, let's do it this way. Laura, Are you there, Laura? Can you hear us, Laura?
Yes, I'm sorry. I can now. I had to unplug my speaker, my headset. It wasn't working.
Okay. All right.
Don't
If
think I have
you,
video on this one though. 'Cause
pardon?
you can't see me, right? I don't have video.
So I can promote you to a panelist and we can see you, but you have to accept it.
Okay, that's up to you. It's if you want to see me or not.
Up to you.
I'm fine either way.
Okay. Just continue on then.
Sounds good.
Okay.
We all set?
I believe so.
Okay, so how can we help you, Laura?
Actually, I wrote like a letter. Is it okay if I read it? Because I'm a little
Please
nervous
do.
on it.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, great. Um, Good evening, members of the planning board. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. My name is Laura Rago, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Homeowners Association for Wilson Road. This is a private road that serves 12 homes. The road was constructed approximately 4 to 5 years ago and remains in good condition. I'm here to ask for the planning board's guidance on whether it would be appropriate to transition our private road to a public way and to understand what steps would be required if the town felt that this was appropriate. I believe this is the right time to have this conversation because the road is still relatively new. Addressing acceptance now helps avoid deferred maintenance issues and larger construction costs in the future. Our primary concern is safety, particularly emergency access in winter conditions. Clear public ownership ensures reliable access for fire, police, and EMS at all times. Snow removal is a significant safety concern for us. As a private road, snow plowing is coordinated by the HOA and depends on private contractors' availability. That can result in delays or inconsistent conditions during storms. If the town had control over snow removal, it would be handled with
Oh, yeah.
predictable. Oh, I'm sorry, did you have a question?
Nope,
Nope,
go ahead.
sorry.
Okay. It would be handled with predictable response times and consistent treatment. That level of reliability is especially important for emergency vehicles and the resident safety during winter, especially this last winter. I also believe public acceptance supports property values and neighborhood stability. Another factor I want to acknowledge is our HOA is entirely volunteer run and none of the homeowners have professional expertise in roadway engineering or long-term planning on maintenance standards. While residents are willing to participate, the reality is that managing a roadway long-term requires more knowledge than a small HOA is not well positioned to provide. I understand that the town has standards for road acceptance, and we are prepared to work cooperatively with the planning board and other departments to review compliance and address any reasonable requirements. So if the decision makes sense for the town of Berlin, how can we responsibly move forward? Thank you for your time and consideration. So we're just hoping that we could go forward and make our road a public way. Is that anything that we can discuss, or I don't know how to like?
So there is a process to accept this as a public way. And then it needs to go before the citizenry to be voted at a town meeting, to accept it. There is some things that we'll need to research, before we can go to that next step, on this.
Okay.
So Laura, in your statement, you alluded to that the residents would be willing to work to make sure the road is compliant. Do you know whether it is or not?
I do not, I haven't measured it. I know it has to be wide enough. I think someone had sent me the measurements, but I have not measured it. I don't have a tape measure that big. So I don't really know. And what else? I don't know what other requirements there are.
I would have thought that your agreement with the developer would have contained provisions that it would be built to those standards or not. So you may want to look at that.
So, in the decision of the ZBA, under section E, conditions, number 5, it says the common drive within the development shall not be dedicated to or accepted by town meeting.
That's the
Shall.
specific ZBA decision on this.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
specific to this project. Common drive within the development shall not be dedicated to or accepted by town meeting.
Well, that's pretty
Definitive.
solid. No
Mm.
good. No go roadblock.
Yeah, and
And that's what's in our declaration, like our deed, is that?
this is the findings and notice of decision dated, where is it? July 31st, 2019, for the Capes of Berlin LLC or its nominees, developed by Rhodes Construction, 58 South Street.
Okay.
And I know that the ZBA in other 40B projects has used similar language. I think the notion being that there were a significant number of modifications being made to override the zoning bylaw, essentially, and as a result, it became a sort of a rather unique project, unlike most subdivisions. Now we're going to be talking to town council about some other issues. We can certainly ask that question in regard to that language and just get her reading on how she interprets that, just to clarify.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Because that would be we'd certainly have to go to town council one way or the other. So if we're asking her some other questions about some of the zoning we're doing at the annual town meeting, I think that's a simple question we could pitch into the mix.
Okay, I appreciate that. And if there'd probably be no way around that if she says that's the way it is, the way it's written.
I think the ZBA objective is that these roads in 40B projects, and there are a number of them, of course, have been outlined as being the responsibility of the homeowners association because of the increased density. So, I mean, there's Leland Road, all the roads that are up off of Dudley. There's all, Bassett Road, Tyler Road, the roads that are up in the Sawyer Hill LLC. When we begin to add them up, there'd be quite a few that that potentially could come into the responsibility of the town, which might be difficult.
Yeah, that's true.
I would say this, that Sawyer Hill LLC is much more extensive than yours, and we could probably find a name that we could give you as to who they use to manage things.
As far
Okay.
as snow removal,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I know several people who live up there, so I can ask. I'm sure I can get into their managing board and see who they use.
Okay,
Happy.
thank you.
Yeah. So sorry to disappoint you, but that's the
No, that's
situation
okay.
as
I
it stands.
understand.
Yeah. All right, and I will ask and get the that information to Jay, who can pass it along to you. Okay,
All right.
on the Sawyer Hill.
And we'll certainly let you know what we find out from town council.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Sure.
All righty,
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yep.
You
You
too.
too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, our next order of business is zoning bylaw rewrite project. Is that an
Um,
update?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, you're gonna change persona here.
You're gonna change persona.
Who is?
Aren't you? You're
Mr.
taking
Wheeler?
the guy, yes, Mr. Wheeler said he was going to give us an update in lieu of the guy from CMPRC.
I'm pretending to be Ron.
Ron.
There you go.
All right. Let me find that. I think I sent it around to everybody, didn't I?
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to. I
Yeah,
didn't have a chance to look at it, but yeah.
So, I mean, I'll just read what he wrote. My research has found that most inclusionary zoning bylaws in the state have been generally ineffective. Berlin seems to have generated some inclusionary zoning units in recent years. I mean, certainly we've created about 30 real affordable units and about 90 on paper. So it's as flawed as the damn thing is. It's got us out of hot water and put us well up into the 15 percentile for the subsidized housing inventory. He said, which puts you ahead of the curve. If you think it needs to be strengthened to increase uptake, my recommendation is to consider modifying it to be either a fully or partially optional program. You know, and he sent us that other letter, which sort of goes through the bylaw as it stands, makes some clear changes, which have to do with just the language we use and the entities we refer to. But in general, I think we could pitch it to the housing trust and just say, you know, what would your preference be? I said to him, and I think I've said this other times, it may very well be that the biggest problem that we foresee is that someone that builds a subdivision that's required to include an affordable unit in it would create a unit that if someone bought it, probably they couldn't afford to maintain it. So it's just nonsensical. So then the question is, do we just simply take money in lieu of and give that to the trust? Or do we want to take ownership, you know, have the trust take ownership of a lot in the parcel and then they can develop it through Habitat or somebody like that. So he said, you know, a lot of towns offer the carrot and, you know, give them an incentive by increased numbers of units and all that sort of stuff. But I'm evidently that hasn't worked in a lot of communities because he's not necessarily saying that a lot of towns have been successful. So where
Yeah.
we've been more successful, it almost seems like rather than throwing everything out, we ought to try to just modify what we've got.
I like the idea of putting those two choices on an either or an and basis
Mhm.
to the housing trust and see what they think.
Yeah. So that's that one. Then stormwater, he said in general, stormwater management bylaws tend to be general bylaws rather than zoning bylaws. And if that were the case, then we'd be happy to turn it over to the Conservation Commission and let them worry about it.
Oh man, and the Conservation Commission is fine with that, except that the Conservation Commission was told by the town administrator over a year ago that they were taking care of that.
That the town was?
Yeah, and
Oh, really?
now I don't know where that stands.
I mean, I think we could get the commission to help us with a general stormwater management bylaw, but it probably wouldn't, I mean, it wouldn't be part of this EEA grant. It would be something distinct and separate at some future date. So,
Right.
but low impact development, he did feel as though that belonged in the zoning bylaw, and his intention is to include language in a lot of the sections that would move in that direction for us. So in terms of, drainage, the types of things that we do with green area requirements and parking.
Right. And
all that sort of stuff.
honestly, it's probably more relevant to the building of any large project than, a single homeowner anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So he's going to work on that part. And then as the last thing he said, he'll be working on a red line draft of the bylaw that incorporates the comments and suggestions. So he's moving forward. The timeline, of course, is the EA grant, I think, is end of June. So essentially he's got 3.5 months. And then they'd hold our hand at a fall town meeting if, as we began to try to put things in front of the voters. So that's the news about that. So he was feeling pretty good. And the Housing Trust has been looking at the inclusionary zone and stuff, and I think they've got some ideas. So I told them I'd come back and see them. So I'm happy to do that. I can go to their next meeting and chat if you want me to.
That would be nice if you could.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
They still let me in the door. So they meet in person, though. I don't understand that stuff.
From my understanding, planning is one of the few boards that still meets remotely. Almost
looked
everybody
tonight.
else.
There's 3 or 4 of us that still meet remotely.
Yeah.
The important boards, yeah.
It was funny. We had a civil engineer come in to conservation at our last meeting, and he said it was the first in-person meeting he's been to since before COVID.
Wow.
And he was talking about how wonderful it was to sit around a table with people and talk. And
Where was he from?
I don't even remember at the moment.
Yeah, you probably made him drive an hour for a little 10-minute
Probably.
presentation. Yeah. They really appreciate that.
Yeah. They get paid for it.
I had about 4-hour online meeting this morning, and I didn't realize in Teams you can push a button and raise your hand. Do you guys anybody ever use that?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you can do that in Zoom too.
Well, we had a new member of the board and this guy was pushing that button all the time. We're all going, what is, because he works at a university where he's working with students and I think they do that.
Yep.
According
like-
to this document from Ron, I was looking at 735.8. Comment, this may not be legal, so I went to my bylaw that I bought for $40. And 735.8 says preference for Berlin residents.
Right,
Persons employed with the town of Berlin. I didn't know we had that.
yeah.
For what would a Berlin residents get a preference for?
Inclusionary
Lottery.
zoning.
Oh, for the inclusionary, yeah.
Yeah. I know the Housing Trust has talked about this because they've had an interest in preference to veterans. And I think Habitat indicated that there are ways that you can address that issue, I guess. But it isn't specific to someone from town. It's more of they're a veteran. And I can ask that question
Well,
too.
I think looking at the big picture here, right? We've not really enforced this requirement, depending on how you interpret it. We've got several developments where there've been 5 houses on a common driveway and 1 on the road, which technically is 6.
Yeah, Mark did that one up on Peach Hill Road.
And the West Street crossing, maybe they only did 5, but then
They-
Sawyer Hill was 6, right?
Yeah,
The West Street crossing cut back because they didn't want to
Get involved.
get involved, as did
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Central Street folks. They cut back.
The Plastridge Road, Plastridge one on Sawyer Hill 6, if you
Yeah.
include the one on the road. So those we didn't enforce because when we went back and read the bylaw more carefully, those technically do include, they count as 6, right?
right.
Yeah,
I would
'cause-
say yes.
yeah.
Are we talking about the roads? Have we changed subjects now?
Well, we're talking about the affordable housing
Okay.
conditions, right? So, if we're going to try to figure out what to do with the current situation, I mean, we have to discuss the
Yeah.
A&R
No,
issue.
I think
Even if the A&R one goes away, there's still
Yeah.
a building inspector supposed to enforce this other one, and if we have to spend a long period of time trying to figure out what the alternatives are, for this bylaw, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but is it possible that a proponent can offer and we can accept some alternative to the
it would be possible, I think, through through some legal process where we think it applies, they think it doesn't, and we settle for instance, a cash payment or a conveyance of one of the lots or something. I
Okay,
think that would be possible.
So Tim was saying the housing authority's biggest problem right now is lack of lots to build on,
Land.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And building, a very low cost affordable house in one of these developments that the lots are worth $300,000-$400,000 because they're having $1 million houses put on them. That doesn't seem to make sense either. But should we be thinking about trying to do a land swap type deal? So give the proponent the option to give us something that the housing authority can build a small house on, however they may get it.
I think that's right. And I think that's what we were talking about a couple minutes ago, where we looking at the idea of doing an and or arrangement, either land in some other place or cash compensation that would go to the housing what's it called now? It used to be called the Housing Partnership, the
Trust.
Housing Trust.
Housing Trust. Yes, sorry. I was on it many years ago and it was Housing Partnerships. Um, yeah, and I think that's a good idea. We should talk to them about that.
Well, I was
And
thinking
then
about
it,
that a little deeper,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I realized that it's a long shot, but there's the potential to solve two problems with one provision here. One problem is the one we're talking about right now. Yeah, the other is one of my favorite pet peeves, which is no matter which direction you enter the town, you see some abandoned property that looks like we're in I'm not gonna say where, but right, we have properties at the entrance to town from each of the three directions so you can enter that are abandoned. And have been
yeah.
abandoned for the last 10 years. And
Yeah,
the
you
town,
know my feelings about that. That the cheapest way to address that is to put up a sign that says "Welcome to Appalachia," but never mind.
What, does the board have any appetite if we incentivized the developer to put 100-foot lots, 100-foot frontage lots in their development? And then we get more, say we need 2 lots instead of 1. If we're really looking to incentivize getting lots,
Well, of course, they can do that now.
they need the acreage.
If they've got the frontage.
Correct, frontage and acreage,
yeah, he's doing that with one of them already.
right?
Would we entertain a smaller lot size
That's basically where I was going.
in as well as frontage?
Yes, but I was hoping to get more than 1 lot donated,
More than one smaller lot?
more than 1 smaller lot donated.
By allowing smaller lots for the whole 6-unit development, right?
Only the ones that are gonna be the ones that'll be donated.
Oh,
The other
okay.
ones he's gotta build on, they have to be regular standard dimensional sizes and
No, that's fine. I was just trying
frontage.
to understand what you were suggesting. Mhm.
The goal was to try to get more land.
Right.
No,
I
but
think-
how does that help the developer? So instead
Well-
of building $1.5 million house on a lot, they can build 2.
No, they don't build, they
$500,000
just
lot
donate the
houses.
lot.
What's that?
They just donate the lot. They don't build on it. We're not gonna force them to build on it. They have to give up the land.
Somehow in the back of my mind, I've got the idea that if they build, there's certain standards that they have to meet in terms of how that structure compares to the other structures they've built.
Right.
Which is if we can remove them from having to build by doing what Tom's talking about, where the town gets land that the trust deals with,
Correct.
then they may escape that responsibility. And if they give us money in lieu of, as opposed to somehow giving us land, we know that there's difficulty, and I mean, then the town ends up having to seek out land and go through all that hocus
Right.
pocus.
Right.
So if there's a way to capture land in a simple way,
Right.
so we don't have to become,
That's exactly why I advocate for that over a payment
yeah.
over money.
So what we really want to do is,
If we make it so that it's less incentive to do the monetary, make it a big cash payment.
yeah.
So if they want to go that route, then it penalizes them for it.
Mhm.
Or if the idea is we want land, multiply the lots that we get out of it to give us
Yeah.
more opportunities to build stuff. And then I agree with you, take that building, because right now the clause is it has to be like kind, so it doesn't look like it's,
Yep.
a trailer park next to $1 million mansion. So take that off of their plate, and that may be more incentive to have us giving us land. They're not going to want to give us land because it's valuable to them.
right?
If we incentivize it in a way that it's better for them to do that, they may go for it.
Yeah.
The only problem is you're going to get the toughest piece. You're going to get the piece that's got
Yeah.
all the
Sure.
shit
Of
and everything else.
Of course.
Yeah, and and then of course, if you're talking about something that just toes over the line, uh, I think there'd be a significant incentive to just not do the sixth lot and have larger lots and make up you know some of the money and value. But
Well, yes and no. I mean, if you're ponying up, a $1.5 million or a $1.3 million house or something like that, and at that point, I don't know if it'll move the needle enough if you had a 2 acre or a 3 acre. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get a
right,
premium for, you're not going to go 1.5 million for a $1.3 million house if in this marketplace, maybe I'm all wet, but that's my,
no, 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 no,
my
no. But what I was thinking is, if you're talking about like the sixth lot and the seventh lot, okay,
Mhm.
or particularly the sixth lot,
Yep,
um, you're asking them to do 5 lots and give a lot away, and they can do 5 lots without dealing with us at all.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we lower
They don't run the risk
four
that you're
lots.
going to build something
I mean,
unattractive in the middle of their development either,
Well, yeah.
because they get no control over what you build. And if it's supposed to be affordable, it's probably going to be
I mean,
minimum cost.
my feeling, if we go forward with a bylaw, we ought to have it cover the possibility of cash or lots, not preclude either one,
Mhm.
because we're just boxing ourselves out of some opportunity anyway. Because don't forget, I mean, there's also the possibility of buying an existing house, with those lots and turning it into affordable housing,
Sure.
if you have
But
money.
yeah, but we also, I mean, we have more infrastructure now with the housing trust than we did when Carter Street came up, but we still don't really have a good infrastructure in town government to be able to be building houses and buying land. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess if we partner with Habitat or the like,
Yeah.
that is at least that.
No, you're going to need the infrastructure, but you also need the input for that infrastructure. And what I was suggesting is that so we keep it, we keep it as broadly as possible. Um, with the town's discretion to accept one or the other
Right.
under the circumstances. I
Right.
don't like the idea of boxing out an entire category of dealing with this at the bylaw level.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to, imply that it was one or the other. I meant to imply that this was another leg of the stool,
Yep, totally. And I agree. I think that there should be both legs. Absolutely.
And if only cash is offered, do we have to accept it?
I'd make it so it's the bigger of the options, the more value. So in other words, if you donated a lot or donated 2 lots or something like that, and the value of that was, pick a number, $200,000. If you're going to do a cash payment instead, it's 300,000,
Right.
and make it so it's a bigger ask.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah,
I think
and
those are the kinds
actually,
you can play with. Yeah.
if they donate the lot to the housing trust, there's probably tax implications for them also.
I
And
think it would be
favorable ones.
Beneficial, yes, beneficial tax benefits.
Well, I'm suggesting that they would be able to donate something that's not in their development, like.
Right.
either
No. And I
land-
think that should be as well.
Some land.
Land,
or a
not
house,
necessarily land right
build a
there.
house.
Right,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree
but
completely.
of equivalent value.
correct.
Well, whatever the value
Or
gets
of
negotiated.
equivalent development possibility or whatever. Yeah, but yeah, I agree.
So
But as you
now
say,
my
it's gonna
next
be a
question,
negotiation, right? So I wouldn't assume that you're gonna get $1.5 million. Right?
correct,
No.
yeah.
But you
So,
could
so my
have,
next
so we were
question
talking
is
about,
how-
Carolyn, the kind of the inability, the town not having the ability to manage, construction project and all this stuff. You could ask the developer to build a house, right? To find the land and build a low cost house on that land and donate that or whatever, make that available to the housing trust.
Right. And Jay, I understand all of why you're saying all of these things, but isn't this exactly what we told Vinacasa he could not do when he was trying to do this? He didn't want to put his
What?
affordable units in his project,
Yeah,
and then he offered to build something somewhere else in town.
yeah.
And we said no, because the whole point of the inclusionary bylaw is to create mixed housing.
So that was not the reason I said no. The reason I said no is because, and I kept bringing this up and he kept dodging it, is how much are you going to spend? Like, you're on the hook to spend X number of dollars. And what he was proposing to do for us, when you really got down to it, was 1/2 of that amount.
Mm.
Right. So if he had proposed 2 of whatever it was, I would have been in favor of it. Because it would have met the goal of getting, inexpensive housing into town. And he would have had to build it, which meant he's got the skills and ability to build it at a reasonable price, which we don't as a town. It seemed like it wasn't not a bad idea.
right,
Right. I agree. And and building it as a town because of prevailing wage and all of that stuff just knocks you right out of the box. But
I think so.
either doing what we've just talked about or pairing with a Habitat for Humanity or something like that gets you out of that box.
Mm.
Yep.
Well, as long as you're not paying them to do the job, if you're selling them the land with some restrictions on it, yes.
Them Habitat?
Whoever the developer is.
Right,
Habitat,
that's what I
anybody
mean.
else.
Yeah.
If we're on the hook, it's like if you want to put an addition on your house and you're paying a general contractor, like, who knows what it's going to cost?
No. We have to be careful with that, but I think it is, my understanding is that if the town has land and donates that land or commits that land to the process and approves a nonprofit to build it, that's an exception to prevailing wage. Because we're not building a town facility with it. If we were doing that to build a town facility, we would be caught in the prevailing wage net. But I mean, we clearly have to
No, but you're
cross our
still on the
T's
hook
and
for
dot
it
our
either
I's
way.
on these issues, but I think that's the case.
You're still on the hook for everything that goes wrong because the town's paying for it, right?
No,
Whereas-
Not if you donate it to a nonprofit.
Okay, and they build it and they have to
They
sell
build
for
it,
certain
they
Yeah.
take the whole thing over there. That's what's gonna happen up at Lincoln Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
It gets deeded to them and it's their baby.
so let me ask this, kind of play devil's advocate a little bit. How many parcels are left that'll trigger a 6-lot subdivision?
In town?
Yeah, in our town,
Oh, I bet more than you think.
really? Okay,
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
especially in that between Highland and Peach Hill and that kind of area of town. There's some fairly good sized lots.
still left, okay.
Yeah.
yeah. I have a woodlot on Sawyer Hill with Joni that would probably qualify for that. Not that we are in any way interested in that, but just as an example.
Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know if we were, spending a lot of brain power for limited gain.
I think, we're looking at the inclusionary zoning bylaw.
Hmm.
Um, I don't think I don't think we have to spend a lot of calories on it, but putting these ideas into it
Sure.
as alternatives and and having a framework and have it be there. And maybe it gets used only infrequently. But
Would there be appetite to lower it to 5 lots instead of 6 and put these incentives in?
yeah, I mean that's
Yep,
something to think about. Yeah.
I'd be on that.
I'm just trying to think of a way we can maximize the gain that we're going to get.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think what we've all discovered is that we've de-incentivized anyone to
Right.
build anything more than 6 lots. And as a result, we've had a number of subdivisions that have flown under the radar, which if there was a carrot instead of the big stick, some of the
Yeah.
things we've been talking
Well,
about, it might
I
might
don't
have
see that
triggered it.
happening unless we actually reduce lot size or frontage on the entire thing.
Yeah,
I,
maybe.
I just don't see a way of doing it because otherwise, as I said before, if it's 6 lots, you do five because otherwise I just have to give the 6 lot away
Right.
or give the value of it away. So why would I do that?
Yeah.
I mean, unless I were public spirited, which I am, but I don't encounter that many on the other side of the table when we have a development.
Yeah, but I mean, Tom's question's correct. It's how many parcels are out there that would trigger,
Yeah,
I mean, if they looked at it, it would obviously be better suited for 15 subdivision lots instead of, just 5. The most of the ones we've looked at have been borderline, and the decision to go to 5 instead of 6 was simple to make because they did the math and they weren't going to
right.
add any more than 6 anyway. So,
And something, I'll think about it, but something that is right on the borderline is always going to be iffy, no matter what you do, because you have the issue that I just expressed. It's
yeah,
like, why should I do another one more lot? Because I'm just going to have to give it away.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll chat with the housing trust, and
Okay.
Ron will be redlining some stuff for
Yeah.
us to look at.
Again, but having said that, let me contradict myself. There is, there is a, if it's couched as a donation, there is, a tax benefit to that. And it's happening at a time when a developer has income coming in because he's doing the other property. But that would be to me that's really the only plus side beyond what I just expressed.
Hmm.
Yeah, I very much agree with Tom's suggestion that making the land available more palatable than the cash.
Uh, yeah,
Um,
totally. And as I say, I just think we should have both possibilities. But
Oh, yeah,
and
100%.
and what we should do
yeah,
is to see what we can do to put the thumb on the scale of giving the land as we develop this.
yep.
I like it.
Right.
What else
And
we
then
got?
I guess the biggest thing that then needs to be decided is Jay's recommendation of do they have to develop, do they have, if they choose land donation, does that happen in the development or does that can that happen elsewhere in town?
I'm in favor of it being somewhere else. Provided, obviously that it can't be, like 4 acres of swampland that, would be, impossible to develop or whatever. But I don't see a necessity to actually be a part of it. I think, looking at the town, um, if there were 6 lots in one place that were 1.5 million, and another in a perfectly okay developable property that were, 400,000 or whatever the amount was. I don't see that as a big public policy concern personally.
How about we incentivize them again? So you give us 1 lot in your development, 2 lots in another location in town, or payment of, pick a number. So now you get 2 lots someplace else.
Hmm.
Right. So how do you pick a number? Is it twice what the building lot would be worth?
For
Is
the
it one
cash
and a half
payment,
times? Is it,
for the cash payment,
yeah,
I'd make it 2 times what the lot's worth.
yeah,
Because that's the last thing we want them to choose,
right.
Wait, what's the last thing we want them to choose?
to give a cash payment.
Oh, I see.
I'm just going off of what was discussed earlier, that it's more valuable for us to have land than it is to have cash.
I know, but why would we force them to give us twice as much land if it's not in the development that they're
No, twice if they want. Oh, because the point of the inclusionary bylaw is
Is
for mixed housing.
exactly. To
It's
put them,
not
As we
only to
discussed-
meet our 40B, it's to
Carolyn, as we discussed last week, if you think that through and you've got $1.5 million home development and you have to build the affordable house to look like be all the same as the rest, it's $1.5 million house. And you're going to put someone in there that's got an $80,000 or $60,000 a year income. How are they ever going to support that house?
so that's the reason why I don't want to have them build it. Have Habitat or somebody else. Just do land or cash. They don't have to build it.
Right.
right.
No, but let's answer the question. Like, how does
But
that
it
make, are you
doesn't,
gonna-
because it doesn't have to. We both know part of a lot of the cost of a home is the finishes inside. To frame a house costs the same to frame a 2,500 square foot house with $1 million worth of finishes, or $300,000 worth of finishes, costs the same. It doesn't have to be the same size.
No, our bylaw says it has to be the same.
It doesn't have to be the same. It has to be, it's 75% of the size. And it has to look like it fits. It doesn't have to be the same.
And if you
I
take
think
that
if
away
you-
from them and we make Habitat build, Habitat can build a 1,500 square foot house next to $2 million houses.
Right.
Yep.
And I would say if it was, particularly if it was built away, I mean, I'm with Jay. If it's built away, when I think we need to, widen the view of inclusionary housing to be inclusionary within the whole town, and that if they build away, uh, to build two is fine, to build three is fine, and I don't think that they have to look like the other houses. They have to be appropriate, affordable housing.
It would absolutely be in favor of looking at the requirements of building a unit in this, the sixth house, and seeing what our parameters state for that, and maybe modifying that a little bit to make it financially feasible.
And I think what I'm saying is if they give land away and we'll build the house, that we can allow more of a disparity between the other five houses or the six houses, you know.
Sure, if it's not right
Yeah.
next door.
Yeah,
Honestly, I don't have a brand new house is still going to be a nice house.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Whether you're no, you can't park a trailer and put a porch on it, and that's your new house.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You know,
No, absolutely. And I guess what I'm saying is right now our inclusionary zoning focuses on a particular project, you know, and what I'm saying is if that project throws off a satellite project that's away, we should be more flexible about that, what that project away can be. Absolutely not a trailer park, you know, but
yeah, uh, yeah. But I guess I'm saying I would also be open to looking at what we do require the affordable
I agree
units
with that to allow
in
them.
a development to uh, to um to make it affordable for someone who would buy it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. And you know,
Um,
I think it's two steps. One is looking at a contiguous development, and the other is looking at a remote development. I, I totally agree.
yeah.
Well, so far nobody's taken us up on it, and the particular case that we're talking about now is a good one to carry all the way through. Think it all the way through, okay? What can actually be done with the bylaw that we have in that development, right? And does it make any sense, or is it going to be reasonable, or is it just a lottery for one person getting a giant windfall and then they're going to sell it? You know, if
Well,
what I was
Why
like,
no, they can't sell it it
for
has to be
market
sold as
value?
an affordable unit. I mean,
they can't afford to
For-
live in it either, so it doesn't
no,
make
that's
sense.
the problem. I agree. That's why we're trying to find a solution where a
Okay,
house of more modest character can be built with our bylaw in place. And if I think about Randall Road, and I think about the houses, like the house that's across from this parcel is, a ranch. There's
right.
two ranches actually. So, I mean, if there was another ranch on this side of the street and then there was some big houses next to it, it wouldn't be any different than what's already on Randall Road now. You've got small capes, small ranches, big McMansions,
Right.
now in a subdivision where someone's cut into a piece of land and going to build 20 houses, again, I think the option may be there to put the the affordable unit somehow that parcel gets turned over. It's the one with frontage on the street already. It's compatible with a lot of the houses that are already on the street. And then the bigger McMansions get built in the back of a bigger parcel that's being subdivided with the subdivision control law. So anyway, I think we've got some good options here.
The properties up on Randall that we're talking about, I would guess about a third of the cost of those houses is the site work.
Mm.
Because they're built on ledge,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And when we build a septic system now, it has to be twice as big, so you got a backup field, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When you go through I mean, I think the guy building the stuff bought all his own equipment. He was going broke on site work, right? So you would be potentially building a house and have, I don't know, $300,000 or something of site work on top of a $300,000 lot before you even start to build a cottage.
Well,
But
and
anyway,
that's
back to what I was originally saying was, wouldn't it be cool if somehow out of this whole process, we ended up killing two birds with one stone? One is to get some affordable housing in town, right? And this other is to find a path out for the people that own these abandoned properties that are an eyesore and really degrading the value of everybody's property and satisfaction in town.
yeah, I mean the
In,
problem
in what way?
well,
Give them the ability to donate the property. They can
Well,
do that now.
no, I would say, I mean, I'm just thinking about this, but the proponent, the person doing the development that's got a choice of building $1 million house and selling it for 400,000, or doing something else, right? Paying us a huge amount of money, which they don't want to do. If they were incentivized to go find properties in town that are distressed, abandoned, whatever, and turn those, build something modest that makes sense in the intent of this whole affordable housing mission, they're probably more capable of doing that than anybody, because that's what they do for a living, right? They
Yeah.
find they find property, they build homes, and they do it at a low cost. That's their expertise. If we could somehow tap into their expertise to go find those properties and build something, modest, that's an affordable home.
No, I think, yeah. And I think what we've been talking about is trying to put together a toolkit that would provide for that. I mean, the things that we had just talked about wouldn't preclude involving one of the properties that you're talking about. I think each of those properties has its own complications in terms of ownership, financial, commitment, bank loans, whatever that would complicate it. But, the toolkit that we're talking about, I think, are tools that could be deployed.
Right. And that's assuming specifically about the properties that you're talking about. So the one over by the mall has been purchased by someone who has come to us with ideas anyway. Whether that ends up being what happens over there or not remains to be seen. But that property is underway.
Well,
One
perhaps
over
the proponent can make a deal with that person to get what we want.
But why would the person who just bought it sell it for what? For they have purchased it as an investment. They're hoping to make money on it. They're not going to make money on a developer who's buying it for affordable housing.
Well, it wouldn't be the whole thing, it would be a piece.
Well, and the same over here on Central Street. That property's been on the market for a while. So either they want more money than it's really worth, or I mean, there's issues there saying that says send a developer out to get a bargain. There are no
No.
bargains in Berlin that I'm aware
Yeah,
of
but Carolyn,
anyway.
that's, if you wanted someone to be motivated to do that, who has the skills to do it and does it, buys land all the time in town, why not get them on your
Yeah.
team trying to make that happen, right? Because
No,
nothing
and I
should
think
happen there until the bank finally takes it, and right?
I think the toolkit that we've talked about creates a framework for doing that.
Mhm.
And if you have other ideas to add to that toolkit, I'm certainly open to hearing them. But I think we had a lot of good ideas that we can deploy under particular circumstances.
Mhm.
I like it. I'll talk to the trust.
Okay,
Then we should probably have a joint meeting with them sometime.
absolutely.
I think
I
they
love
meet
to
in
have a
person.
meeting with I love to have a
In
meeting with a
person? Oh,
joint.
they meet in person. That's why we can't do that.
Okay.
There is a third one, by the way, Carolyn, that probably could be available for this. So if there's a third one, I bet there's more.
Yeah,
Third one, what are you talking about?
There's, I
Underutilized
believe there are
properties that are
properties in
just hanging
town
there?
that if someone was really motivated and had the skills to find them and negotiate an attractive arrangement with the owner somehow to make this all happen, I think it.
Yeah, well,
There are a
I
number of
mean, if we
properties.
identify those, that runs to Tom Sanford's idea about identifying, about identifying
Potential
opportunities
properties.
under this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm
Uh,
saying let's let the proponent do that because they're better at it than we are. Right?
Sure.
Yep. Okay.
Are we done?
Yeah, well, if we're done with that, I just wanted I had circulated the letter, which was the response to Rhodes' attorneys, and I just wondered if there were comments on that or whether we should just go ahead and send it.
I'm good with it the way it is.
I think
Okay.
I've always assumed that what you wrote was what we were intending. with
No,
that.
I think,
So,
yeah, I think you raised the issue, and as I remember it, it was a month ago or maybe pre-COVID. I lose track of these things. But yeah, when I suggested that we not take action, it was because it had ramifications that the proponent may not have had in mind, and we wanted to send it back to him to consider the A&R approval in that context. And I think the letter clarifies the position. The attorney for Black Pearl spent a lot of time talking about how we couldn't refuse an A&R on us, but that was
Right.
that to
We made
me
it
was a
clear during the
misunderstanding.
yeah, we made
Yeah,
it clear during the meeting that that's not what we were doing.
yeah,
The
and
fact that
so
they chose to interpret it that way is their
yeah.
prerogative, but
Hmm.
that was not what we were doing.
Yeah.
Um, I and what about writing? Has anybody spoken to, or should we write a letter to the building inspector expressing our concerns? Because Jay, those other properties that you brought up, the Plastridge property, and there was one other one that didn't get flagged for this. That isn't the planning board's responsibility, it's the building inspector's responsibility. If I understand correctly.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, there was the Peach Hill Road one was the same thing. He did built
Right.
5 on one.
Right.
corner,
And so I think we should write a letter to the building inspector expressing our concern over this. That I don't think there's any way to go back on the other ones.
No, I think that horse is
They
out of the
got away,
barn.
yeah,
Yeah.
they got away with it.
Yeah.
Do you
Um,
claim there's a precedence that they can follow, or can we start enforcing it?
We had a building inspector who didn't enforce an existing rule.
Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna
Um,
fire him, we gotta do it soon because he's leaving on the end of the month.
all right.
I don't, it wasn't Richard on either property, I don't think.
Oh, wasn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
Certainly not on Plastridge, but I don't think it was on Peach Hill either.
Yeah, and I mean you can attach the letter that we're sending to, Rhodes' attorney to say that this further explains the issue and the position.
Right.
Now, in your letter, Thomas, did we suggest that my sense is that the 6 lots already exist, and so the trigger's already been pulled.
I thought this A&R created the 6th lot.
This A&R this plan that they showed us was a modification of a lot that we'd already approved. So we've already approved 6 lots.
We'd only
Okay.
already approved 5. I think it's 6.
Yeah, 6.
I thought he was creating a new lot here.
No, it's a modification for a septic system.
Right. The A&R that was before us that we did not approve was a modification to an
Okay.
already approved lot.
An already approved 6th lot. Okay.
Yeah. And my question is it 6 or 8? Isn't it lots 1, 2, 3, 4, and A, B, C, and D?
Where's the plan? Where's the plan?
Two.
There's an A and a B and a C.
So there's
D.
lot 1, 2, 3, 4, and A, B, and C.
Oh, so
Well,
there
there's a
isn't a
D,
D. Is
But
there a D?
but there is a lot D1.
Yeah, that says remaining land, right? So I guess,
So there that it
Right.
is, it's 8 lots.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's not even kicking the line. That's stomping on the line.
Yeah.
Right. Because lot D he's keeping for himself. So he's selling 7 and keeping D for himself, at least for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think then I have to rewrite that letter.
Yeah, I think it just needs to be clear
No,
that
I will rewrite the letter. I had misremembered what it was. I thought that they were creating the lot that put them over the line. But yeah, I'll rewrite the letter. I'll get that done this week. Okay.
Yeah, here's
but
what's on the
I
screen
do
now is I put the street numbers on the ones that he's developed. That have houses on them.
Right. So 146, 136, no, yeah, 146, 136, 128, 118, 211. Oh no, wait,
No,
nope.
no, that
No,
two-
no,
the-
those
the number on
three
the bottom is
don't
the
have,
frontage.
right, well, so actually lot lot C, either lot B or lot C. I just had to approve the building permit on and the plan that was submitted to Richard was the plan that we did not approve with the modification.
Yes, I think that's right.
Okay. All right.
Um,
I will rewrite it for those new circumstances and circulate that. I'm in Boston tomorrow, so it won't be tomorrow, probably Thursday. Okay.
I do
Cool.
agree with Carolyn though that a note to Richard just saying hold off on any further approvals.
I agree. I think that's important. Mhm.
Yeah, because we're negotiating.
Right.
Especially if he's given plans that don't have our endorsement on it.
correct. And so I saw it, wearing my conservation hat. And so I had to approve it, but I did send a note to Richard saying, hey, this plan has not been approved by the planning board yet. I didn't get a response back, so I'm not certain that he saw the note, but
Okay.
I at least tried to give him a heads up.
Okay.
So who's penning that letter to Richard?
If you don't mind it being circulated on Thursday, I would be willing to do it, and maybe tonight we should have a motion to send an amended, adjusted letter to town to the Black Pearl Council and a note to Richard indicating the concern with the inclusionary zoning bylaw so that we have a vote, and then I can circulate the text, and if people have tweaks or spelling corrections, we can I think we can still issue it. Okay?
Yeah, I'll move that.
Can you?
Oh,
put that
I'll
in a sentence
second.
For me?
Sure. The well, I guess I'll make the motion. Tim, you can second it. I move that we issue an adjusted letter to Black Pearl Council and a note from the planning board to the building inspector indicating the issues with 6 or more developments and the inclusionary zoning bylaw. That you got that, Jay?
Yep.
Okay.
And Tim seconded it.
Second.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second. Does anybody else have further discussion they wanna put forth? Seeing nothing, I will ask you to vote. Carolyn McDonald,
Aye.
Jay Teach,
Aye.
Timothy Wheeler,
Aye.
Thomas Andrew,
Aye.
and Tom Sanford, aye. Motion carries unanimous. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, thanks.
That's yep. So look for that, probably by sort of close of business on Thursday. Okay.
Great.
Awesome.
You want me to move to adjourn?
That'd be lovely.
Did anybody send that annual report in by any chance?
Isn't that the clerk's job?
Oh, that's right, I did. I did it a really long time ago. I did it a month ago. I did it last month. I did it last month.
Okay.
Yay, Jay.
Thank you, Jay.
February 29th.
How did you do that? We were like a month, I thought we were late.
No,
Oh, because
February
it was due at the end of January, not at the end
And
of
there's no
February.
February, and there's no February 29th this year either.
Oh, yeah.
29th. Oh, wait, it's daylight savings time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not
Got it.
daylight year savings time or anything like that.
You know,
Bring
this
your
week,
clocks ahead to 2027.
for this week and next week, the difference between Central European and our time is 5 hours instead of 6, only for 2 weeks, the entire year.
It's actually a little more than that, isn't it? Is it because UK doesn't change until the last
Maybe
week in March, so I think it's a little longer. Believe me, this
Yeah, that's
screws
right.
up my whole day.
I bet. Do you have just like clocks on the wall, like the old news reports that show the time in each city around the
No, I mean,
country?
fortunately, our internal calendars adjust for the local time. But
Well,
in
that's
past
good.
years, when it didn't do that, it screwed everything up for those 3 or
Sure.
so weeks. Yeah.
Wow.
I have a little chart on my wall and I've got all the morning times here and in CET in their format, because every time you make a mistake, it's just such a nightmare.
No, absolutely. And internally it does it, but it still screws up sometimes when the meeting is set up by an external party. But yeah, one has to be on guard for the month of March.
It took me till today to remember how to change the clock in my car. It always takes me several tries, and then I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's right, it's this.
What I have on my wall just to confuse my grandchildren.
Oh, a little further back. There
see
you
it?
go.
They have no idea what that means.
Right.
Yeah,
The
no,
the
absolutely.
circle with the sticks on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I had one of those pasteboard books, and it was a story called Tommy Too Late, and it was about a little kid who couldn't tell time, and the cover of the book had a clock face, and it had metal hands that you could turn. So I remember when I was 5 or so learning how to tell time with that book.
Yep.
Lost art.
I know. My daughter is still if I say something like she'll say, "What time is it?" And I'll say, "Oh, it's quarter past." And she's like, "Quarter past what?" I'm like, you have no idea what hour it is." But it's funny.
Yep.
Yep. And for the longest time I had to explain quarter past what that meant.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go to the UK and they say it's 3:30. And is it like
Yeah.
half after 3 or half before 3? I still don't know.
Yeah. I think that's 3:30.
It is 3:30. Yes.
Okay.
It's 3:30 and Old Blighty there. Yes. Hmm.
Yep.
No, I learned something.
But yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
righty.
Did we have a motion?
Nope, not yet.
I moved it.
You did?
I'll second it.
Yeah.
All right, it's non-debatable, so let's vote. Carol McDonald,
Aye.
Jay Teach,
Aye.
Timothy Wheeler,
Aye.
Thomas Andrew,
Aye.
Tom Sanford, aye. Motion carries unanimous.
Right at 8.
Good night, everybody.